Hi, and good morning, everyone. Um, by introduction, I would just like to thank everybody for joining us this morning, and welcome to our webinar entitled Cloud and AI Technology, the APM 4.0 Game Changer. Now, with me today, I have my esteemed colleagues that I'll bring in by introduction as we go through the presentation this morning. So as a welcome, good morning, everybody. As you know, my name is Arvind Singh. You saw me in session 4, where we talked about APM. And I'm basically the global APM business leader in Aviva, providing strategic business advisory by working with our business leaders in industry, right? So great to have you on board here today. We've got some exciting material that we're going to basically cover for cloud and AI technology. And it's really, really interesting and very relevant to industry today, especially around the COVID situation, where we really need to look at cost reduction. We need to look at newest way of doing things, new technology. So welcome again, and let's get started. So as the agenda this morning, I'll talk a little bit about Aviva as an introduction. We will look at the Aviva APM portfolio in terms of cloud technology and the AI technology itself. And we also then will go into a technology use case. Now, the portfolio side, especially around cloud technology and AI technology, will be covered by my colleague Fakhri, who's the APM technical sales lead for Southeast Asia. And also the technology use case will be covered by my colleague Jack, who's a CMMS consultant from Y&Y Technology. Now, just to kick off and just to get a bit of understanding around Aviva and what we do around Aviva here, as you may know already, we have 5 main portfolio areas covering asset performance, monitoring and control, plan, schedule, operate, optimize, engineer, procure, construct. Now, when we talk about cloud, cloud covers majority of our portfolios as a whole, but we'll be focusing more on the APM side here today to give you a flavor around how that connects to manufacturing, how that connects to industry as a whole. Now, by driving a very high target of over 30% of improvement in overall OEE and 20% increased efficiency, would really help meet our clients' expectations, as you can see. So we've been doing this across 16,000 clients. We're really driving industry. We're a benchmark leader in this space, and we're really happy today to share some of this information and also have a good panel discussion later around some of the questions that you may have coming from the audience. So please feel free to submit your questions as we go through the webinar this morning. As you may know or may not know, we're a global company, Aviva, and we do have many offices, over 4,600 employees globally. One of our core things that we focus on is R&D. Okay, so we're really looking at new way of doing things, and especially in light of APM 4.0, where we talk about cloud, where we talk about artificial intelligence, it really comes to the forefront, and it's very, very important. So you'll hear some of the new developments that we're doing within Aviva from my client Fakhri. My colleague Fakhri, and then you'll also hear from Jack in terms of the use case and how we apply that to real-day scenario situations. In terms of Aviva as an APM portfolio, you would have heard me talk about this in the last session, right? So we talked about the 6 key areas we need to focus when we look at digital transformation. And today, the key area that we'll be looking at is around technology, right? Now, all these facets come together. It's very important, especially when we talk about cloud technology, whether we talk about AI as well, because we really need to understand processes. We need to understand what is your organization's objectives? How are you going to get there? What is your current state, right? And then tie together with the right architecture for cloud, or even predictive analytics, and we'll talk about that later, and then couple that with the right technology, okay? So important facets, 6 main areas that we focus on to then drive what we look at is the challenges. And what you'll be looking at today is how cloud, how predictive analytics covers some of these challenges, right? So cloud, when we look at integration of data, being able to access it from anywhere, being able to have a single source of truth once you can bring it together and then visualize it, right? Predictive analytics or even artificial intelligence, looking at how we can predict that failure. How can we make it more safe, more reliable, more predictable, right? How do you get that assurance back into your organization? Preventing production downtime, preventing injuries, right? Even protecting your market share. All of this comes together, and these facets are what we talk about in terms of cloud and in terms of AI, really bring the mark to the table. So before I hand it over to Fakhri, and as part of this introduction, what we're really trying to help in this space here, aligned to manufacturing also, is being able to help our clients understand how we actually meet the requirements of new technology, right? So cloud being a new technology, for some it might already be there, and maybe you want to expand it, maybe you want to go enterprise-wide, right? So being able to have that right architecture to actually to basically support that, being able to then have the right confidence within the organization, then to use that data, whether it's coming from enterprise-wide, to then make that next step decision. Right? So predictive analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these keywords that you hear in industry today, we'll be touching on as we go through this presentation. And overall, we really want to be able to use that technology to then reduce operational maintenance and inspection downtime costs. So in the use case that you heard later from Jack, you'll talk about inspections and how that actually then couples together in terms of operational requirements. So hopefully you'll enjoy the session today, and please feel free to ask as many questions as you want through the portal. We'll answer them during the panel discussion. So sit back, enjoy yourselves, and at this juncture, I'll pass you on to Fakhri, who's going to start talking about cloud technology and also artificial intelligence technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvin. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Fakhri Nordin. So first of all, I would like to thanks to CTI for inviting me to this webinar today. So I've been, currently I'm leading the technical sales group, APM technical sales group of Aviva for Southeast Asia region. So I've been with Aviva for around 8 years now. So I've been involved in many digital transformation projects across the region as well as global projects. So today, I'm going to introduce you to our solution portfolio strategy, which is leveraging on cloud and AI technology, yeah, to empower the connected worker, yeah, and then enable you success in this new normal. Yeah. Okay. So the market environment has continued to be impacted by the COVID-19. Yeah, so companies are now evaluating almost everything. Yeah. So spending is being prioritized, capital projects are being evaluated, yeah, with the reduced workforce and a team that is unable to be at a location due to the new SOPs, new restriction, have increased demand for an autonomous operation. So the team that is supporting the asset operation is now remote but connected. So companies have to provide this new working ecosystem to support the digital teams. Yeah? And then localization due to the disruption in global supply chain has forced companies to make a rapid decision in terms of where to source the material from, how to select the market, so that the impact to their profitability and their ability to sustain and navigate from today's crisis are preserved. Yeah. And at the center of these changes, and fundamentally impacted is the workforce or the connected worker, who don't have the normal working ecosystem to support them, yeah, who is now in a completely different working environment as an individual operating from home, who don't have access to their colleagues, to experts, yeah, so that digital assistant guidance is needed. So people needs to have flexibility to manage their family life, personal life while working at home. And teams are now digitally connected. Yep. So things like accessing information, sharing information from a digital platform from anywhere at any point of time is absolutely critical to support the collaboration. And then with the new SOPs, new restrictions has limited the worker access to the site. So near autonomous operation is needed to support the asset operations. So all of this new reality has shaped how the technology should be enabled to empower the connected worker. Yeah. So the application need to interoperate seamlessly to handle complex use cases. Yeah. So no matter how complex the business process, information needs to be extracted, visualized, contextualized, and presented simply and clearly. Digital guidance and learning aids is needed to provide that digital expertise. And then last but not least is the ease of use of the solution. Yeah. So some people would call this as the soft aspect of the technology, but it is equally important to empower the connected worker, because people today, they are already exposed to digitalization. For example, through their smartphones, yeah, with few clicks, they can order transportation, they can order foods, they can pay their bills. So they are expecting the same experience at their working environment. Yeah. So our solution portfolio strategy is divided into three broad domains: engineering, operations, and performance. So for engineering, we have a cloud unified engineering solution to support companies to increase their engineering efficiency. Then under operations, we have this digital twin for operations solution, which is used to help asset operator to improve their operational and safety excellence. Then we have value chain optimization. So value chain optimization is an agile supply chain optimization solution, which is used to support companies to protect their bottom line. And then we have this asset performance management solution. So asset performance management solution is used to increase and optimize the asset performance and reliability. So the technologies on the right, cloud, AI, digital twin, big data, IIoT has continued to be fundamental to our solution portfolio, has continued to be important. Yeah? But recently, there are two things that really come out and become increasingly important, which is cloud and artificial intelligence. So why cloud? Yeah? Because today companies are looking at how technology can be accessed easily and collaboratively across their enterprise. And another reason is because cloud would also lower their investment and reduce the total cost of ownership. And then as for artificial intelligence, companies are now not only going to be short of supervision capacity, they are also potentially going to be short of expertise to handle or solve complex use cases. So artificial intelligence is needed to provide that digital intelligence to fill in all those gaps. Yeah. So today we are going to focus on asset performance management solution. So I'm going to introduce you to a solution which is leveraging on all of this technology, yeah, in particularly cloud and also artificial intelligence. So the technology name is Aviva Insight for Asset Performance Management. So Aviva Insight is a cloud-based industrial solution, easy to use, off the shelf, ready to go for you to start immediately and generate values for your companies. Yeah. So it connects and collects data from your on-premise data source, publish the data to the cloud so that you can start to visualize, analyze the data, and then track the performance and efficiency of your equipment. And then on top of this visualization, we have analytic capabilities through our condition-based feature to support condition-based maintenance. And then we have predictive analytic to support the predictive maintenance. And if you look at the benefits delivered by this technology, it unlocks the critical data. Yeah? It unlocks your critical data because now we are democratize all your data, on-premise data to the cloud. So the data can be accessed across your enterprise. Yeah, so the more user accessing your data, you are unlocking your data, and then at the same time, you are basically increasing the value of your data. And then it support and increase collaboration. And with the analytics capability, which is leveraging artificial intelligence, it can predict your equipment failure and improve your asset reliability, and then enhance and drive your operational performance. So first, with Insight, you need to unlock your data. Yeah. So for Aviva existing customers, if you are using Aviva systems like MES system or Aviva historian system, we have a native publisher to publish the data to the cloud or to Aviva Insight. And then we also have publishers for other systems as well. And we also support various industry standard protocols to publish the data to Insight. And for other platforms or other systems like data lakes or other IoT platforms, we have many ways to communicate and transact the data from the on-premise to the cloud. Yeah. So once you have unlocked the data, this is how you can drive the highest asset safety, reliability, and efficiency with Aviva Insight. Yeah, starting with the visualization portion, where once you made the data available, you can then start to visualize the data, analyze the data, and then collaborate across the enterprise, and then track the performance and efficiency of your equipment or asset. And then on top of this visualization, we have analytic features, starting with condition-based. Yeah, condition-based use a rule-based approach, yeah, where you can configure rules or condition and then trigger an alert or automate or initiate a workflow. And then we have predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is leveraging artificial intelligence and then learn how the asset operates and predict the equipment failure. And then last but not least, we have this asset library with prescriptive action, yeah, which is developed from 20 years of experience from our subject matter expert. And this prescriptive action can be linked to the condition-based feature and predictive analytic feature to support the closed loop remediation. So next, in my next few slides here, I will briefly explain to you the 4 key areas, which is the visualization, and then the analytics, start with the condition-based, predictive analytic, and then the asset library. So for the performance monitoring and visualization, Insight standard out-of-box comes with a standard search-based navigation. So you can search the information in Insight. Yeah, you can type what you are looking for. Yeah, same like Google. And then Insight will deliver you all the contents that are associated to the text. Yeah, and then the standard Insight also comes with this standard OEE tracking analysis function or feature, or also asset efficiency analysis feature, where it uses KPI to guide users to the component in which the OEE is impacted. So then you can mitigate action. Yeah, you can plan for the mitigation action and improve your asset efficiency. And then if you want to do further analysis, yeah, for example, if you want to add more context to your analysis, you want to add this efficiency analysis together with data from your ERP system, for example, maintenance system. Yeah. So from the efficiency, you want to see what are the maintenance info. We have this BI gateway, which can be used to transform time series and transactional data, yeah, contextualize the tag, and provide update at the near real time. Yeah. So with this BI gateway, it can combine both time series and transactional data so that you can build report and across your enterprise and organization. Yeah. And then we have condition-based. So condition-based is an easy-to-use feature in Insight. So it uses wizard-based configuration where you can define condition, yeah, rules to trigger the alert. So here I can define the condition. For example, if the suction pressure of a pump drops 50% from its rated value, then trigger an action to EM system to initiate the creation of a corrective work order. So this is one way for you to start to automate the proactive way of your maintenance practices. And then this condition-based feature in Insight can be also linked to the prescriptive information from the asset library for closed loop remediation. And we can also configure the alert to be sent via email to all the users or operators. Yeah. And then we have predictive analytics. So again, predictive analytics is leveraging artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithm. It learns how the asset operates in different loading, different ambient, different operational condition, and then provide the early warning indication days, weeks, or months before the equipment fails. Yeah, so it leverages the historical data. It trains the model using the historical data, a good historical data that represent the normal operational profile of your equipment. So we import all this historical data into the model. We do some data cleansing to make sure that it represents only your normal operational profile of the equipment. And then we use artificial intelligence to establish the normal operational profile from that historical data. So once we have established the normal operational profile, we would then connect this model to the real-time data and compare the real-time data with the model that we have established. And if there is any anomaly detected by the model, it will alert the operator for the normalization action. Yeah. And then we have this asset library. So inside asset library contains RCM-based equipment failure data and maintenance data. Yeah. So again, as I mentioned just now, this library has been developed from subject matter experience for the last 20 years. Yeah. So this library contains the equipment type, yeah, and then the components of the equipment type, and then the failure cause, failure conditions, and then the preventative tasks, prescriptive tasks associated to the component and asset type. So by having this asset library inside, we can then link this library or prescriptive action to the condition-based feature and also predictive analytic feature. This is where we combine the artificial intelligence with human intelligence to deliver the intelligence, digital intelligence guidance to the operator. So next I have the customer success stories. So the first one that I have here is CCare. So CCare is our existing customer. They are using our MES system. So they use Insight to extend the data from MES for downtime tracking. Yeah. So they provide an easy way for their operator to capture all these downtime events. Yeah. Time of those downtime events, and then the failure information or the reason code, and then they build analysis, and then from the analysis they make adjustment and improve their line efficiency. So guess what they managed to do? So they managed to reduce their shift hours from 12 hours to 8 hours, and the OEE reporting was implemented for 3 lines only in 3 days. Yeah, so that is on CCare. And then next I have Campbell. So Campbell is a good reference from asset reliability perspective. So Campbell is using our predictive asset analytics to monitor multiple equipment on multiple lines. So after implementing our solution, they have seen a significant reduce in their production loss. Yeah, and in fact, in the first 3 months after they implemented our solution, they managed to catch 2 major problems. One is with their dough laminator, and then another one is with their oven oxidizer. Okay. Okay, so what I have shown you in my short presentation today is a technology from Aviva. Yeah, so it will only become a solution when we sit down together with you, discuss together with you, discuss your challenge, your problems, and then try to position this technology to address all of your challenges. Yeah, because together we can achieve so much. And one thing that I would like to emphasize here is that now is the time for you to start. Yeah, with the current market condition. Yeah, there's no room for operational inefficiencies. There is no room for production loss. Yeah, so now is the best time to start. And another point that I would like to make here is that the technology that I have shown you in my presentation today is not a concept. Yeah, it's ready to go. Yeah, I've shown you one use case to another use case. Yeah, we have companies that have generated values from our solution. Yeah, so looking forward to on your feedback. Looking forward to collaborate with you guys. Yeah. Thank you very much for your attention. My name is Fakri Nordin, and back to you, Arvin.
Great. Thank you very much, Fakri, for that insightful presentation around the technologies that we share in Aviva. It was great to see some of the key things that our clients talk about being addressed there, like the idea of IT-OT integration, the idea of being able to connect transactional data with real-time continuous data, different data sources, being able then to also leverage onto the library content. We touched on this in session 4 when we looked at RCM as a technology and then connecting in a closed loop environment. So that was could be basically deployed on-prem, or in this case in cloud using our Aviva Insight. So fantastic there, Fakri. Thank you so much for your presentation. Now, moving forward, what we would like to do here is to connect this now to a real use case. So what I want to introduce now is Jack, one of our colleagues from Y&Y Technology, who's had plenty of experience around this space in APM. So Jack, welcome today, and we would love to hear what you have to share in terms of the use case that you have for us this morning.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Arvin. Okay, so thanks Arvin, and thanks Fakri for the present today. So I think I'll start now, right? So yeah, so to just kick everything off, hi, good afternoon everyone, good morning everyone. My name is Jet. I'm the partner of our principal Aviva. So I'm the Y&Y principal consultant and business consultant for APM and CNMS as well. So I think Fakri gave you a good insight, right, on all the Aviva APM solution, and then I think it's quite clear that you can see the Aviva solution focus on a few key things, right, especially integration, because now during the pandemic times, everyone is talking about digitization, everybody's talking about cloud technologies. How do you leverage this type of solution to implement a proper solution for your company, and also how do you move forward, right? Because everyone's talking about cloud technology, talking about digitization. What are the solutions? Just now, Fakri touched on the predictive analytics, talking about the Aviva Insight Cloud Connection. So I just want to emphasize the key differentiator for Aviva APM solutions, right? I know there's so many engineering tools outside, right? There's lots of tools and lots of solutions outside, but the key differentiator of Aviva APM is the integration. We want to give you a solution that focus on integration within the entire APM portfolio, and on top of engineering, operations, and IT. So the solutions I'm about to show you later, we are able to integrate your engineering design, engineering drawings, and your operations as well. How your maintenance manager and your operators, the day-to-day, how do they connect, right? When they do inspection, or when they are operating a plant, they will need to connect with the technology and engineering of the entire plant as well, right? So, and you can see some of the solutions that the screenshots that Fakri has shown as well is quite simple. It's not hard to use, because what Aviva does is we want to give you an APM solution that most people can use, right? So because nowadays with people when people use solutions, right, if you have operators that's been in a plant for many years, right, you know that they may be resistive to new technology, right? So it's quite simple to use, which I will show you later, right? So with this type of solution, you are able to get data in real time, and also with proper training from us and from Aviva as well, most people are able to use it, right, to improve your plant operations. Okay, so what makes Aviva APM unique as well, like Fakri has shown you just now, some of the success stories, right? It's proven and reliable, right, and real results. So you are able to see that some of our customers, they are able to reduce downtime by 20%, right? They are able to reduce their inventory carrying costs, and of course, most importantly, they are able to improve their asset reliability, right? So that saves you a lot of money, right? And also we have a broad customer base. So I think around the world, right, there's so many customers, including petrochemicals, in the manufacturing, in the F&B as well. So all the use cases that I'm going to show you, and also presented by Fakri, you are able to do your plant operations. I think some of the some of the unique proposition or some of the key savings, right? I think as you can see here, we've managed to save more than $4 million, right, through early identification of a power generation turbine blade damage. And for example, avoid early you are able to avoid plant failure due to early detection. So I'll show you some of the examples that our solution offers, and then you can see how you can apply it to your organization as well. Okay, just now we touched about Aviva Connect and Aviva Insight. So basically, the cloud solution, you're able to access this data anywhere and from any device, right? So I think later we're going to talk about technology. How do you access your data anywhere? Because now we are not able to travel as well. So with Aviva Insight, you are able to log in through your mobile device or your tablet, and you get to see your operational data and your asset data at any time and anywhere as well. So you're able to see, you are able to search through your assets around the world. If you have plants around the region or around the world, you can able to do condition monitoring, do geolocation, customize your dashboard. It depends on which role. Your operation manager, asset manager, and you're in IT as well. They're able to customize what type of information that they want to see. Okay, so for the entire Aviva Connect and Aviva Insight, right? So the most important thing they would like to bring, right, is get all your operational data in one place where you can see your operational efficiency. You're able to monitor your OEE. Lots of people talk about OEE, operational efficiency. How is equipment working for you, and how reliable is your asset, right? Because for each asset, we want to run it, of course, run it to maximum, give you the entire value, but you would also make sure that the asset is reliable. So whenever there's any fault or any diagnostic, any problem that is coming, the system is able to tell you, right? And also ensure that your workforce, using our mobile workforce solution, you are able to know that all the work execution, all the work is properly done at the correct procedure. So I think when we talk about APM and talk about maintenance, I think a lot of asset managers and plant managers are worried as well, right? There's a few type of asset management strategies. So for example, you can see here, I think lots of people are doing are in the firefighting mode, right? So some of their assets, they are under maintained, right? So maybe certain equipment you would only need to you are because without a proper asset strategy, you're only maintaining the assets to very less frequent, right? So you don't put enough effort, you don't put enough planning, so you can find that your assets is breaking down all the time. And then you have people on the extreme side, right? Doing too much maintenance, right? Instead of doing every quarter, you're doing it every month, spending lots of money on maintenance. So how do you reduce your total cost and make sure that your preventive maintenance you're doing at the correct frequency, you're spending the correct money? So with the solutions that we are giving, cloud, IoT, big data, and digital twin that I'm going to show you, you are able to make sure that your downtime is reduced. You're able to make sure that all your assets are maintained at the correct time, and we are also able to do a risk-based maintenance. So risk-based maintenance means you set a goal. For example, you want to make sure this asset is running at optimum point. At, for example, 6 months, what is your goal? 12 months, what is your goal? And you are able to use our tools to make sure that your asset is running at the optimum time as well as you are maintaining at the correct frequency. So I'll touch some solution demo. I think more importantly, just now what Fakir showed you, I've a few videos, but I think we have limited time. That's why I'm going to just use some slides to just show to you what are the solutions that we have. Before I go to the solutions as well, I think this information here is quite key to you. So as you can see here, we have 4 different we have 4 different roles or in your plant typically. So we start with operations manager. Typically the challenge is the operations manager will need to ensure the team is working faster and better. And sometimes the production requirements, you have different production targets in your plant, right? So they find without the proper tools, they find it difficult to meet the production requirement, and also you need to optimize your operating costs. So with Aviva solution, right, you are able to reduce your operating costs and you have complete visibility of your plant, and also you need to have fast decision support. For asset manager, right, they need to reduce unplanned downtime, and sometimes they complain that they have no sensors, not enough monitoring equipment. They are not sure what are the instruments, what are the data on the plant floor, right? And it's very hard to have, without all this information, it's very hard to know the condition of your assets. So with Aviva solution as well, we are able to do AI prescriptive guidance, and with all this information, we are able to do early anomaly identification as well. So make sure that before the asset is going to fail, if there's any anomaly in your assets, temperature getting high for the last few days or few weeks, the system is able to tell you. So with Aviva solution as well, we are able to make sure the factory manager will know that your data can be accessed anywhere, and also you have visibility, real-time visibility of your data. Okay, and also for IT managers out there, with all this cloud, people are talking about cybersecurity. People are afraid that the IT manager is afraid, is the information safe, right? With too much data, how do you scale up? So with Aviva Cloud Platform, you're able to scale up easily. And the technology is open as well. So for any type of DCAS instrumentations or any systems that you have, we are able to pull data to the Aviva Cloud Platform, and you are able to do very good analysis. And also it's very flexible, and since it's all cloud, I think for the cloud structure or for the scalability, you can come and talk to us, because the key goal of Aviva, we want to make it scalable. So you can start small, and we want to scale up. If your plant is getting bigger, you have different assets outside, you are able to scale up much faster. Okay, so I'll jump straight to the demo, because since I think we have limited time. Okay, so just now I mentioned, right, how do you use Aviva Insight to get notified and look at your asset and to detect asset anomaly? So this example here, this is your tablet. We go to Aviva Insight. The moment we go inside, you can see the conveyor lines, for example, right? You can see the last hour of your conveyor line, or you can see the last week or the last month of your conveyor lines. What are the parameters, and what are the values of the conveyor current, right? Current and predicted current, right? So you can see the instrument data for your conveyor, and for example, you can see if there's any spike in your conveyor model, because for Aviva Insight and Prism as well, we are able to create, like what Faki mentioned, we are able to create a model in the predictive analytics solution, and you are able to, for example, if you look here, this is the time series data for the last 24 hours, for example. If there's any spike in values, means there's anomalies, right? So what the solution is able to give you is, you can set notification to say if there's any anomaly for this conveyor model and greater than X certain amount, right? You can set a value here, and you can save it whenever there's a spike. Maybe the next, and the system will help you to monitor within the next 24 hours or within the next week or within the next month. If there's any spike, you are able to send straight to your maintenance manager or your maintenance team to check. Can you please check the conveyor? And you see the high deviation, right? So from the mobile itself, where we were showing just now, the shift supervisor or the operator or the people looking at the asset can set certain conditions to make sure that any anomalies is detected and conveyed and passed on to the next people to detect the anomaly. So this is what we call early anomaly identification. Okay, so on this slide as well, I would like to show you how do you use mobile IntelliTrack or our mobile workforce, our mobile operator rounds to do maintenance, right? So this is the tablet. So of course we would, this tablet is running on Android base. So Android or iOS, we are able to do it as well, right? So the operator just need to log in, key in their password, and then straight away they can have a dashboard of their procedures and also of their data. Of course, you need to download the information as well. So you can have a look at, this is your asset. What are the PPM type that you need? So this is conveyor inspection. You need to select what type of asset, right? So if you select conveyor 8, you are able to look at all the historical data of this conveyor maintenance. If you want to look at the procedure of doing this conveyor inspection, it's all defined in the system already. So the technician just need to follow the instruction, right? So in this example, they will perform visual inspection. So you can see all the historical data of the visual inspection, right? So yeah, I think this is good if the operator is new, he's not sure about the values. So they could see, right? Previous example, the previous historical data is okay or not okay. And you can see the next step, check the chain tension, check the alignment. This is how the operator is going through all the correct procedure. So this is to make sure that the operator is going the correct procedure and make sure they are doing all the checking according to the SOP and according to the procedure. So for example, I think this example is you need to verify whether the conveyor motor is overheating. So if it's overheating, you put not okay, right? So this is one of the steps to make sure that the operator knows. So if you put not okay, this is the action that required. So straight away they can create a work request in your CMMS. So in this case, we are creating in our Avanti CMMS, but you can create it in your own CMMS as well. So the beauty of this is in the mobile operator round is interconnected to your CMMS system, and you can create work requests and work order directly from the mobile application. Okay, so they are creating the work request. Please replace the motor and save the work request. And the procedure is completed. And of course, you need to upload back to the system. So this example, right, is showing you that you can do your mobile, the mobile operator rounds. Every inspection is all programmed in the system. So whenever they need to do, for example, the conveyor procedure, how do you check the conveyor procedure? You can see all the procedures are there, all predefined by the maintenance manager or the asset operator. Right, so whenever there's any anomaly, you can create work orders and you can make sure that things are known in time straight away, and you can raise the work order straight away. Okay, I've just a couple of few slides. So we talk about digital twin, right? So and in this example here, there's a 3D modeling using the Aviva solution on your plant. So this is an example of a petrochemical plant. So a 3D modeling has been created for this asset. So in this example, you can see if you click on each asset, you can have the full asset information of the asset. You can have the work permit number. You can see what type of information it is. You can see the area code. You can see what is it if you drill into the particular asset, for example, right? This is a heater. You can see, is it safety critical? Right, you can even see the process data because we talk about Aviva solution is all integrated. You can have your tech data, you can have your instrumental data all inside one view, right? So you can see what is the temperature, what is the pressure, right? So you can even see what is the open position and closed position, right? So more asset information, and if you would like to have the historical trending of the instrument data, you are able to see it as well. You can see here. What is the pressure, what is the temperature, what is the flow as well. So all these are live data, and when we talk about digital twin, well, this is a perfect example on how a digital twin is created, and you can see what is happening on the plant with real-time data. Okay, so why do we have all this, right? Because like just now we mentioned, you want to have a digital twin so that you can do predictive diagnostic, and also you are able to make sure that if there's any fault or if there's any anomalies, you can detect right away, right? So with this heater example, right, with this pressure indication and the values indicated, you are able to go to you just double click on the asset, you are able to go to the predictive analytics of this particular heater asset, and you are able to look at the maintenance history as well. Right, you can see the next slide will show you what is the predictive analytics of the asset, and you're able to check the work order history as well. As seen here, you're able to see what is the maintenance, what is the PM, what is the planned PM of this asset. So all directly from the digital twin and from the modeling, you're able to access the maintenance history and maintenance data right here. So this example is a spare part. What is the spare part required? And from here as well, the 3D modeling. It's the same thing here. We are able to look at the alarms of this pump, this particular pump, and just now I talked about the predictive analytics, right? From there, besides accessing maintenance data, you're able to look at the predictive modeling of this pump as well. So this is the pump temperature, right? Like what Fakri mentioned just now, we have already built a pump modeling, the process modeling of the pump inside the Prism solution, and you can access right from here. So if you look at the anomalies, and they already tell you that, for the last week or the last hour or two, the data has been collected, and the normal data should be like this, but when there's anomaly, they will highlight it for you. And also you are able to go back to the process modeling and to make make corrections and make the model. You can optimize the model again. Okay, so from here, if you can look at the anomaly, I think there's more slides to show you that what is the problem, right, of this actual pump, right? Is it pump degradation? Is it a mechanical failure, or is it a electrical failure? The system is able to tell you. So from there, you are able to connect to your maintenance system again, right? Your CMMS system, and then to put inside the information to say, this unit, what is the problem, and this unit has been removed. So you can raise the maintenance work order straight to your maintenance team and do corrective action. In fact, besides doing maintenance, you have you will also have your P&ID drawing. So because like we mentioned that the whole solution is integrated from engineering drawings to operation to maintenance, you are able to access your P&ID drawing that particular pump, and you're able to know where is it. So when you do replacement, or you want to replace some drawings or some asset information, you're able to come here directly and change it, right? So that's what we talk about integrated solution. Okay, I know I'm over on this, my last slide. Yeah, we've gone through this. Yeah, okay, so having said that, all the solutions that I've showed you just now, these are the business outcomes or the benefits that our customer have seen, right? So you can see early warning identification. So with the correct tools and the correct business with the correct optimization, you are able to know that your equipment, you can get early warning identification, can result in lots of savings, and also improve your productivity as well. Our customers, Schneider Electric as well, have seen great productivity increase, a 12% increase of all lines, and also in operational efficiency and better collaboration in workforce. So just now I show you the 4 different roles, right? Asset manager, IT manager, maintenance manager as well. So they can do a good collaboration, right? And also the next one of IT infrastructure, like I say, scalability is very important. So you can start small, and when you scale up, you don't have to spend so much on capex. You can just use opex to make sure that if you want to start with 10 asset, 20 asset, 30 asset, it's up to the customers. And with this, business is able to scale up and make sure that their assets are well guarded with the correct solution. So yeah, this is the end of my slide. I think I've overrun. So hopefully, if you want to ask more questions on the solution, there's lots of things to show. So that's why I'm using screenshot. If you want to know more detail, myself and Fakri and Arvin, we are able to have a separate discussion with you. And yeah, so I think like Fakri said, now is the right time to start. And yeah, let's hope that we can give you a good start to your APM journey. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you so much for that insight there, Jack. It was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. So thank you so much for the points that you've made clear there. It was great to see some of the use cases and how we can actually apply some of the technology. And what I want to do now is basically go into a bit of a panel discussion, Jack, and also Fakri. So if we can bring Fakri online, that'd be great. And we can start addressing some of the questions that have come in from our guests this morning. So look, gentlemen, before we get going, again, thank you very much, Fakri and also Jack, for the information and the presentation. It was very insightful. What I want to do now is basically open up some questions. So I think the first question that we have here, again, it's revolving around the pandemic. Okay, and we know that industry's really been impacted, and I think the question here that's coming out, and I'm going to probably point this to you, Jack, first to begin with, is what has been the biggest impact of the current pandemic on industry sector's approach to technology, and in particular cloud technology, so the focus around cloud. Jack, did you want to maybe sort of share some insight on that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think the most obvious impact that we can see now, right? Now Malaysia has already entered into a lockdown again, right, for the next 2 weeks. So I think the major impact now is traveling. People cannot travel, right? People cannot go to but it's not. I think within your own country, maybe you're still able to get away with it, but if you want to cross border, cross country, right, it's very hard. So I think most important thing is when you have restricted travel, means you need to do what? Remote monitoring and remote troubleshooting, right? You need to do remote diagnostic. You need to
exactly.
Yeah, you need to do remote maintenance if it's possible, right? I think remote maintenance probably not, because you need to send someone there, but if you have a local team to support, you will need the expertise in your country to do remote diagnostic. So what do people change now? They need to change in approach, right? They need to make sure all the data is collected. If they already collected locally, they will need to put it to the cloud, or they can access somewhere securely, right? So I think what we've seen most customers now is they would ask you, what are the solutions that you can provide me so that I can get data from my plant and put it in the cloud instantly? I can see, right? I can know what is going to happen to my asset, and is my asset performing optimally. So that's why this type of solution like APM 4.0 or the Aviva solution comes in, right? We will need strong collaboration tools. We will need cloud solution. We will need maintenance, predictive maintenance, for example, right? And you need to react fast and quick, because the asset is your money, right? So most of the people, when they look at now what are the solutions out there, this is what they are going to talk about. Yeah. So I think we have shown you just now as well how can our customers change, and how can our customer improve during this pandemic. So these are the impact that we saw, and the solutions that we've shown you just now will greatly help them to make sure that all the data that they can see, they can have all the asset data online, right? They can make sure that when it's going to fail, I would know what do I need to do next, right? Who do I need to coordinate with, and they can react fast and quick. Yeah. So I think this is how the industry sector is approaching it. Yeah.
Great. Fakhri, did you want to add anything to that from your insights?
Okay. So I think based on our experience engaging customers throughout this pandemic period, right, we can see that companies have moved to from looking at technologies from as a nice to have, yeah, to a must have, yeah, because although cloud and AI were very much, I think, part of most of the companies' digital transformation agendas that we have seen, but normally they will always look at in the context of I would say longer time horizon, yeah. And now that time horizon has been compressed, yeah. There's a much greater sense of leveraging AI, cloud, yeah. It's basically driven by I think the imperative of how companies have to work today, yeah, which is remote working, remote collaboration, and near autonomous operation. Yeah. So by having this cloud technology, yeah, in particularly by having all this technology in cloud, so it supports this remote collaboration, yeah, remote access for the company to sustain and navigate from today's crisis.
No, I completely agree. I think the cloud technology and what it brings to the table, especially in the current pandemic, has, if anything, accelerated the whole thing, right? It's really sort of told companies that we really need to act now, and we really need to start looking in different ways that we operate. So no, great. I totally agree. With the mind of time at hand, I'm just going to move to the second question here. And the second question that we have here is again around artificial intelligence and also around cloud. And the question here is, why do you think cloud and artificial intelligence are now an essential strategy for today's industrial organization? So maybe Fakhri, you can take this one first.
Okay. I think just now in my presentation, right, I have discussed this briefly. Why cloud and artificial intelligence is now at the central of companies' digital transformation agenda. Yeah, this is because the first is because companies are now looking at how this technology can be easily accessed, yeah, collaboratively across their enterprise. Yeah, and then as for the artificial intelligence, due to the pandemic, yeah, asset owner operator, they are now not only going to be short of supervision capacity, yeah, they are also going to be short of expertise to handle these complex use cases. And there are also a generation shift, yeah, in the industry, and there are also there's also a potential exit of all this experience with this generation shift. Yeah? So by having this AI, right, you can capture all these domain experience, domain expertise into the solution, which can be later retrieved by a younger generation. Yeah. So I think that is the reason why these two technologies is essential today.
Now that's a good point there. I think the generation shift that you're talking about is a very big issue that we see in oil and gas, especially, right? So when we see the old generation moving on, there's quite a big gap to the newcomers in the industry. So no, definitely. Jack, did you want to add something to that in terms of why you think cloud and artificial intelligence are essential to the, I suppose, strategy overall today?
Yeah, I think you Fakri made a good point. So I think workforce and aging workforce as well, right? Like I think just now I mentioned in my presentation as well, people working in the plant, have been many years. Those are the people, the operators and the technicians running the plant, right? Are those people that know the plant inside and out, right? Because whether you can take their knowledge, take their experience and replicate again, and if you put it as you want to copy their brains and put it down somewhere, right? Like how do you do it? So that's why AI and cloud technology will force the organization to for their people to upskill their knowledge, right? So and you can do knowledge transfer as well. You want to put what they have already inside the system, and to make sure that I think I would like to go back to the practical demo or just now that I showed you just now, right? Just now, for example, the mobile workforce or the mobile IntelliTrack, the correct procedures or the correct steps must be done to make sure that the asset is intact, right? To make sure that the asset integrity is there. So how do you make sure that the maintenance steps or the operating procedure is correct, right? So just now I showed you clearly, right? For example, they want to maintain the conveyor. How do you take all the data and how do you make sure that what they are doing is correct? So all this information is already there, right? Step by step. You can even take GPS location. You can even make sure that if they key in the wrong value, the system will tell you, right? So this is how you guide your new operators. How do you pass the knowledge now? So all these steps just now is not there by chance, right? Those steps and procedures are all keyed in and programmed into the system. So who gives all this information? Like, for example, how do you correctly maintain this valve, or how do you correctly maintain this asset? All this information is being done by the asset manager with the help of the experienced operator and the experienced technician. Right? You put in all the correct procedures. Whenever there's anything wrong, the system will tell you, okay, if yes or no, right? If it's no, what is the next step to be done? If it's yes, what is the next step? So all this information is building knowledge into the system, right? So with the correct knowledge and the correct data, you're able to make sure that whatever experience that we have captured, whatever experience that the people has done, right, the last 10 or 20 years is all captured in the system. And then that's how you can improve your maintenance steps, your maintenance procedure, and make sure that the asset is working correctly. So
Okay, great, excellent. Thanks for that, Jack. I'm gonna accelerate a little bit here. I've got a couple of other questions to cover off. I think this one is going to be quite important, gentlemen. Advice, and we're all here as subject matter experts in our own field to give advice. Although what I would like maybe is we start with Fakri and also then Jack. Can each of you give one piece of advice? But the question is saying two, but I'll break it down to one each. One piece of advice for customers who are starting this journey, for especially whether it's digitalization, whether it's cloud. What do you think, Fakri? What's one piece of advice you would give the clients or potential clients listening today?
So okay, I think companies have to make sure that business value is at the center of their strategy, their transformation strategy, not the technology. Yeah, because now we can see that AI and cloud is like a trend, right? So many companies, they contact us and say, hey, we need cloud, we need AI, right? But I think what they need to focus first is on the business value, yeah. And then once they have identified where are the opportunities that they can improve, right? And then only they move to look for the technology that can address and get values from all these technologies, yeah. And then once you have identified the technology, I think you need to do it at scale, yeah. So that you can maximize the business value that you have identified. Yeah. So in short, I would say you need to commit based on the business value, and then do it big, do it hard, yeah, do it across your enterprise so that you can maximize the value.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to add in here as well. I think I completely agree there. With the trend, what some companies end up doing is just following what the other competitors do. It's not really looking at your own value proposition, right? So it's very important. That's a very important point, right? Because depending on your current state as an organization will determine whether some of these solutions are going to be viable. Because we had another question that come up, you know, is Insight, Aviva Insight, something that oil and gas companies use. My answer to that, it depends on your current state. You know, depends on where you are today, depending on which technology we will bring forward in terms of what is going to be viable. So Jack, I know we're running out of time, but did you want to add something to that in terms of any piece of advice you would give some of the clients listening this morning on this journey?
Yeah, I think thanks, the two of you summarized it perfectly, right? So don't just follow what the competitor, or don't just follow everyone's industry for, right? So the important thing is to make sure that as a company, right, what is your management direction? What type of solution will give you the best value, right? Because some customers will think that I need data collection and I need to know what's happening, what is the productivity of my plant, how are the assets running. I need to see OEE, for example. I need to know, I need to digitize my maintenance data, how much am I spending, I want to do budgeting and all, right? So that's a very important thing. You know what you want, and if you are not sure, right, please engage us, right? Because like Arvin and Fakri themselves, they've done many projects, they talk to many customers, they have known that what are the critical for each particular domain as well. So for each industry, there's different sorry, how do you say, there's different priorities. Yeah, there's different priorities for each.
Correct.
Right.
I'll just add to that as well. In my 20 over years experience in APM and doing this, I hardly ever come across where it's a cut, copy, paste from one client to another. Like you just mentioned, Jack, in terms of prioritization, very different. What is important from a business case, business drivers, very important. And what Fakri was saying as well, taking it to scale is very important as well, right? If you really want to see true value, you really got to try going enterprise, because running a small little pilot here and there isn't really going to show you real value. Yes, you may test the technology, but that's about it. But scalability and showing how you can, and then really look at enterprise, right? That's where the real gains are, where the efficiency gains are, so to speak. Okay, gentlemen, well, thank you very much this morning. It's been fantastic. Thanks, Fakri. Thanks, Jack. It's been a wonderful session this morning. Thank you all to our audience as well for joining us this morning in discussion with cloud and also AI technology. We have a couple of polling questions. I think, Janice, if you're going to set up a couple of polling questions for us for the audience, just to basically wrap it up for this morning. So again, thank you very much. Please stay tuned for the polling questions. The first one here being, have this session helped you in deciding what's next for your business? Yes, maybe no. And like Jack said, please reach out to us anyway. That'd be fantastic. Depending on your basic business needs, we're happy to help you there. So the first question there, has this session really helped you? And hopefully it's inspired you in a different way as well on what to look at. And the next one there, for the next polling question, I'm interested to know more about it. Can someone contact me? Yes, so please, if you want to, you know, if we didn't address something that you really are interested about, because we only had a very short time this morning, please get in touch with us. We're more than happy to help you in terms of APM, in terms of digitalization, in terms of cloud, AI technology. These are very large subjects. And every client, every customer that we speak to will be very different. So please connect with us. And if you want to know more, just hit the yes. And if you think you're already there, which I don't think many clients are, then you can also tick no. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes. Okay, great. So again, thank you everyone for your time this morning. Thank you, Fakhri. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for the team, the support team behind the webinar. Thank you to all our participants this morning. We wish you a very safe period during this lockdown, especially in Malaysia. We're going into another second lockdown. So depending on where you are globally, please stay safe and please contact us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you with this with these questions or queries. So thank you again very much, and have a safe day. Thanks.